So today I was sitting on the community center porch updating something, and a man walked up. He was like kind of pounding on the door of the office, and it's like, don't do that. They're not going to answer the door if you act that way. And he comes over and starts talking to me, and somebody's told him it was probably the maintenance man who stole his table. And I was like, it could have been, you know. Somebody had told him it was Mike Bolton who stole his table. But I said, well, the thing is Mike's like half retired. He's a really old man, but he is a jerk. But I was thinking later, because we talked for a little while, and that it was more likely the drug dealers, but they may have done it in conjunction with the maintenance men. Yeah. But I think he went over there kind of angry, wanting to talk to the maintenance men about, why would you confiscate that? I've had that for like a year and a half. It's never been a problem. You could tell me about it first to give me a chance to get rid of it if it wasn't right. Right. But he was coming across like he was loaded for bear. And I said, this is how it's going to go. They're going to deny it. They're going to accuse you of accusing them of committing a crime. You have to play the Rumpelstiltskin game about which one exactly did it. And despite the fact that they've got the cameras out here, they're not going to look at them. But they're taking things from us to make us angry. Anybody with kind of like a mental state. But I noticed that he was in the same physiological mental state as myself. I'm not on any medications. And yesterday I believe I got exposed to heroin from the way I was feeling. That they can aerosolize any drug right now. And then I call it reverse poisoning when it goes out of your system. Now, my husband wanted to make sure that I matured properly, but he was not going to be my candy man. So I never chose to do opiates, but I am certain that I was exposed to them at various times. And by the time I was legally an adult, I had learned to treat withdrawal as though I had a seasonal cold. That it was just a type of pain I went through on a regular basis. That had no cause and that you couldn't do anything about, and that you just had to ride it through. And so when I was smoking tobacco for a while it was helping me, and then after a while my lungs got tight and everything, and I was just like, okay, this isn't helping anymore. I decided, well, last day of the cigarette, and it was. And I'd only been smoking about maybe 18 months. And but it became a point of manipulation because of the voyeur cams, because of all the drug cartels are major money. When I was sitting out there listening to the drug dealing pimps that are tearing up our sidewalk, see, they do this all over Chicago. They'll just bust up some sidewalk, look like they're doing something. They just come out there nobody's going to check on it. It's a big city. If the cops do give you a hassle, you can typically pay them off. And then they'll just stand out there having torn up the sidewalk for a while. And the men will go up and pay them, and then they'll tell them where the girls are hiding, or, whatever, and they'll just run operations from there. Okay, I'm trying to make supper at the moment. So, anyway, but I was thinking about, because when I was talking to this guy, I was almost like, yeah, this place is like bonkers, and that's why I have to do a lot of meditation. And I really do have to do a lot of meditation, like an hour of chanting every day. But I didn't say all that. And so I was thinking about, again, if anybody were to ask me, I would, work on sitting and the mantra Om Aham. And give them instructions on that. And then if that clicks and they do that, to come back for the next lesson would be breathing and some instructions about the channels. Now, from then on in, they need to come and say, I found this book, I'm doing this sort of thing. and then it's a little bit more, you know, as it goes. So, but I don't know that anybody around here is going to do that, except just I noticed that when this guy came up to me, I do this. I know how to do like compression of the channels, and I can compress other people's channels. But it takes maturity and experience to know when to let go of people. But anyway, these they are really they really think that, you know, that they can rule things around here. And I was just saying that I have a son who tore up a bunch of trees in Humboldt County, and Nancy Pelosi showed up. And then something happened out in New York, and Chuck Schumer was on the phone. So these people have phone numbers. But the guys out there that were doing all that work, that thing, they said, doesn't she know, she looks like somebody who's enjoyed some of the good times, doesn't she know where they come from? And I was thinking about, you know, they start taking you out in public to eat popcorn shrimp in front of Buddhists, is what they do with this money. When employers come here from other places and they see people in the restaurants, they see that the restaurants are doing business, they see that people are dressed a certain way, they are very upset to find out after they've committed to invest in the community that they didn't earn that money in regular jobs, and that they are very committed to criminal activity. Because anything with precision, anything that, you know, if the margins get tight, all of that kind of thing, that is just destroyed by this activity. And so, well, we don't need it. There's other kinds of jobs. They are in China. You want to move to China? You know what they do to drug dealers in China? They'll just walk right into your building and shoot you in the head right then and there. It's all Judge Dredd on the drug war in China. So, So there's never going to be a return to the time, you know, what we're returning to now is you will behave on this property. Because if we turn you into somebody who is allergic to opium and only capable of scraping poppies, we lose a lot of whatever else might have been in you. But I think there's a level of maturity on this place that we might end up doing that.